We just spent 72 hours in Seoul, and if you're a lover of food like we are, you are going to love this video. We break down the best restaurants. We did so much research before we went. We visited every single restaurant that was recommended, cafes, and we absolutely had the best trip and ate our way through Seoul. So we're gonna tell you everything that we ate, where to go, what dishes to eat, and what tour we recommend doing as well.
The first place we're going to talk about today is the Dakgangjung market. We really enjoyed this market. It was super hustle bustle with lots of stuff going on. I think there's about 5,000 stalls. And we went there on a night market tour, which we definitely recommend. It's where we tried a lot of the food.
Yeah, we found this tour on Airbnb and it had 3,700 close to 5-star reviews, and it did not disappoint. The tour was 2 hours long and they take you around and tell you a bit of history whilst picking out the best dishes for you to eat, and then they take you to a restaurant as well and you enjoy more food and beer.
So the first dish we tried was the Mayak Kimbap. That is the drug kimbap, and this is similar to a sushi, although I don't mean that it's the same as a sushi, but it does resemble a sushi.
The next one, and this was my all-time favorite, was the Tteokbokki, and this is like a chewy rice cake, a thick chewy rice cake with spicy red sauce. It was so freaking delicious that at the end of the tour, when we had been filled to the brim with food, we actually went back to this store to have another round of this amazing dish because it was a standout. So this is definitely one you need to try.
So another dish that they have is kind of like dumplings. Now they call these dumplings mandu, and there's a couple of different types of these dumplings. So we had the kimchi dumplings and the pork ones, which were really delicious, very tasty, and then they served that with a little bit of soup and kimchi, which is fantastic. We had this dish at one of the stalls which was famous because it was on Street Foods, a Netflix series. So if you go there, you'll notice, because this one store is very, very busy. I don't think you need to go to this one in particular, because I think a lot of the stores serve similar stuff that is also equally as delicious.
So after we walked around for about an hour trying a heap of different single dishes from different vendors around the market, we were taken to a private restaurant. So at this restaurant, we got to enjoy some really traditional foods like the Nok Di Bin De Tuk. So sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, but that is the mung bean pancake, and this was really, really exquisite. We also got to try some live octopus, which you'll see in this video here. They were running around like crazy. They were clinging to the plate as Tice was trying to eat them, which was quite funny. And yeah, it's not something that I would do usually, but when in Rome, you got to try all the things.
And while we were at the restaurant, we also got to try some of the traditional drinks. So we had the rice wine, which they serve in a special way because you want to pour it in a certain way, and they show you how to pour it. You pour it with 2 hands for respect. You pour it with your hand on your wrist to hold back the sleeve. They'll go through and talk to you about these sorts of things, these sorts of etiquettes when serving drinks. And then we had soju, which is one of their number one alcohols, and they really love it. And then we mixed the soju with beer to make sumac, and this is a drink that they all are, very, very excited about. They love sumac. And there's a special way to pour the sumac. They teach you how to pour out this specific amount of soju by using 2 shot glasses, and then they show you how much beer to add in there and mix it. There's all these little techniques and little things that you can do that everyone does when they're making their own sumac. So very fun.
We will put the details of the tour just on the screen here in case you guys want to look it up on Airbnb, but it's definitely one that we do recommend. So the Dakgangjung market is definitely something that you need to try, and we will put the details of the tour that we found on Airbnb here. But one other thing that you must try whilst you're in Seoul is a ramen experience from a convenience store. Now, I know this sounds really, really strange, but we saw this on TikTok and it was such a wholesome afternoon activity. So basically we went to a convenience store by the Han River, and you choose your ramen, you choose your things that you want to mix it with, so eggs, chicken, and basically you construct your ramen yourself at the 7-Eleven store, and then you can take it down to the river and enjoy it by the river. And it was so wholesome and just a really, really nice experience.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
to mention delicious.
Yeah, it was really, really delicious, wasn't it? I hadn't really cooked much ramen before, but apparently in lots of Korean dramas, they go and eat the ramen and make it and eat it on the river together and talk, so pretty funky. And one of the tips that we got was when you cook the ramen, you put it in these machines and you let it cook, I think it goes for like 3 minutes. And then in the last minute, that's when you crack your eggs and you add your cheese and all of those other things to make it perfect. But definitely one to experiment and just a fun thing, right?
It was great.
Now, we went to a lot of different restaurants and cafes on this trip, so we've kind of handpicked the best ones that we would recommend you go to. The first one is Hanmyeok. Hanmyeok is this Korean barbecue that was epic, and you'll see it here. They cook it all in front of you. They cook up this egg. They do, I think, ours had scallops on top of the meat, so a bit of surf and turf. Australians will know what that is. But it was fantastic. 100% recommend that place. And I'm sure there's other places that are just as good, but this is the one we really enjoyed. Then what else did we do?
One thing we would recommend doing is just booking ahead of time for this one because it can get really busy. We went around 2 p.m. in the afternoon and just got a seat, but I can imagine that it would fill up quite quickly in the evening. Another place that we went to that we absolutely loved was Nudake. This is like a coffee shop / art installation, and you walk in and all the cakes are on display and they're all really intricate and unique. And we had a black sesame latte. We wanted to try something a little different, and it was so yum. You crack the cup and the white chocolate somehow melts into the cup and turns the whole cup black, and then it just tastes like a beautiful sesame delicious drink. So we definitely recommend getting that. And then we tried some sort of cheesecake that tasted kind of like an Oreo cheesecake. 10 out of 10, definitely like an experience as well.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the coffee culture in Seoul. They really know how to do cafes and coffee, and we went to a fair few of those places, Nudake being the number one. We also went to a place called Edia Coffee Lab, and we had coffee and did a bit of work there. Really cool joint. It's a coffee roaster, really nice aesthetic. Another place we went to was the Cheese Industry. Cheese Industries was a kind of cafe pastry shop. They do cheesecakes that look like cheese wheels, and then they do cheese pastries and delicious drinks. In that same area, we also went to Mill Toast.
Yeah, we waited in line for 45 minutes to get into Mill Toast, but it was definitely worth it. They have these traditional steamed bread that you can have plain or with toppings like corn, or you can have sweet ones as well, and they are soft and gooey, and they just like melt in your mouth almost like a brioche bun. So definitely one to check out as well.
So some unique foods that you really need to try when you're over there. One thing that Koreans really do well is beef. So you have to try their beef tartare. Now, I'm probably going to butcher this, but they call it yukwae, and that's their traditional beef tartare. It's super delicious, super creamy, melt in your mouth. The other thing that doesn't melt in your mouth but is unique that you need to try is the live octopus, okay? This is a must because of how weird it is. But I don't think the octopus is actually live. I think it's because it's in the sauce that's salty or whatever, so it's still moving. It was so fun to eat, and we really had a massive laugh doing it. The way this one's called Sunnakji, and yeah, you have to try that.
Yeah, it was really funny. I don't know if we've got a video, but Tice's was really being quite stubborn and was clinging to the bowl as he was trying to pull it off for like a good minute.
Yeah.
Feisty, but yeah, definitely one to try. So some other classic Korean dishes that you cannot miss and that you must try whilst there is the bibimbap. This is a rice bowl that is topped with veggies and sometimes an egg as well. We actually tried this one at the airport and it was absolutely delicious, but I'm sure you can get them just about anywhere.
Yeah. And then of course, bulgogi. This is another Korean beef dish. Obviously they know how to do it. They marinate it in this sweet soy sauce. It's super melt in your mouth. I mean, their beef is just on another level. So hopefully you're not vegetarian. If you are, there's lots of stuff, but if you're not, enjoy.
And then for the dessert, try the gua beji. We skipped the line for this because of the tour, which was an added bonus. But this is like a twisted donut. They're fried, dusted with sugar, and like the perfect sweet treat for the end of your meal. Also just melts in your mouth. So soft and delicious. Better than a donut. I don't know how they do it, but definitely one to try. There's no doubt that the Seoul food scene is absolutely incredible. There's so much variety and every dish you will try is just absolutely delicious. We hope this guide really helps you. If you've got any questions, please drop them below. We're so happy to help. Make sure you subscribe and like this video as well. And check out our 3-day Seoul itinerary video because we break down activities, where to stay, all of the information that you need to get the most out of your Seoul trip.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it.
You.